Before we get in, there is no editing in this video. It's just me ranting about how much I hate how Snakeroot is kind of just like the incorrect hybrid. So yeah, just take that for a grain of salt before you watch it. Also, I did it on my iPad normal, like a Kodu thing, not for CapCut. So it's bad mic quality and stuff like that. I did it while half asleep, so I'm just, my voice is still pretty sore from doing it because oh my god, I can get pretty angry. Okay, anyways, enjoy. Okay, I'm gonna just rant about something that pisses me off about the 16th book, Snakeroot. So before we get into all of it, let's talk about his parentage. His father was a Leafwing. His mother was the Nightwing. His mother. How hybrids work in Wings of Fire is that they will take after their mother's tries. We see this in the main hybrids. I.e., let's take Sunny for example. Her mother, Queen Thorn, was the Sandwing. She looks like a Sandwing minus the tail bob, the fact her eyes are the black onyx eyes most Sandwings have instead of green. Instead, her eyes are in fact green, and then her scales are noted to be brighter than normal. But that's pretty much it for her Nightwing traits. She looks like a Sandwing. In the prophecy, she is the Sandwing. For the prophecy, she is the Sandwing. Let's take Darkstalker for example. It is noted that he is a Nightwing through and through, aside for a ray of Icewing scales on his body. Clearsight notes that he never seen anything relating to his Nightwing heritage, his Icewing heritage, aside for his Animus magic. And Darkstalker notes himself that's easy to hide. Whiteout, she's one of the biggest ones to show that, oh yeah, she is an Icewing. But but if I'm correct, she still has the Nightwing body type. Mulberry. Mulberry himself. He is Mulberry himself. Oh, while people were still trying to guess his tribes, they knew he was a Skywing. His scale cutters said that. He looked like a Skywing. And also, I'm pretty sure it was already canonized that Bale was his mother after all. But people were guessing he was a Leafwing off of his wing shape and a couple of his cutters and I think his feel. And I think his spines. That was it. And guess what all they had in common? They all resembled their mother. Yet again, Snakeroot's parentage is a Leafwing father and a Nightwing mother. Hybrids are supposed to represent their mother. That's why Cricket is I could be a hive silk. That's why I'm not brain controlled enough. That's why I don't have any powers. Because guess what? She knew at least her mother was a Hivewing. So, in fact, she even though looking like a Hivewing, she thought, okay, this could line up to be in fact what I can be a hybrid. She's not, but she thought she could be because of those factors. She thought she could be a hybrid because of those factors. Even though she's not, that was enough. Sky could somewhat represent a hybrid, even though he's not technically one due to Pale not being a hybrid. His scale cutter is probably just representing the fact he doesn't have flames, but still, let's take Sunny again for example. She looks completely like a Sandwing. Aside from her tail bob, her eyes, and her brighter scales. Darkstalker. All he has is Animus magic and a row and a row of ice wing scales. Those what he has noted to be easy to hide. Whiteout was the one who looks most like an ice wing. But if I'm remembering correctly, she still has the Nightwing body type. She still looks like a Nightwing. Mulberry himself looks a lot like a Skywing. We knew he was a Skywing, but we were guessing that his Volvo was in fact a Leafwing. What doesn't make sense is Snakeroot to be Leaf Knight, and then practically not resemble Nightwings at all except for power. Oh, but Darkstalker had it because his father was an Ice Wing. His Snakeroot's mother is a Nightwing. He does not represent his Nightwing heritage practically at all in his body. He has practically a teenage son. He has a wife, a practically pretty much adult son. And yet we are only starting to get the fact that he's a Nightwing hybrid from a prophecy, what not Mulberry, but Umber was able to figure out. Seriously? Oh my God. He was supposed. His mother was the Nightwing. Specifically hybrids take after their mother in the series. He is the one who's not doing that. The only dragons who are hybrids, if I'm correct, pretty much every single hybrid are in fact, taking after their mother. Sunny does that. Darkstalker does that. Pretty sure Whiteout does that. I don't have Darkstalker on hand, but I'm pretty sure Whiteout did that too. And then same for Mulberry. Oh, pretty major hybrids, and they take after their mother. Take after their mother. Why is it that a protagonist's practical father-in-law is not getting accounted for in here? Sure, it removes the surprise element, but you could just switch around the family, his parentage. Like, oh, didn't your mother take you? Like, you could say, oh, but didn't his mother take him to the Dungeon Isle? And his father could have been the Nightwing. That is simple and that is easy, and oh my God. Dear Star Clan, I hate this. And also, who the frick is his mother supposed to be? Because I know damn well greatness ain't dead. And plus, Queen Battle Winner is also in the cauldron. It could be Queen Battle Winner, but she's sitting there in the cauldron. And they only thought she was dead, but she's chilling out in the cauldron. If you asked any Nightwing, they would be like, oh yeah, Queen. She's alive. She's not fully alive, but she's watching us. And she's using her daughter as a puppeteer. Who is he? Who is Mulberry's grandmother? Who is that? A very distantly related Nightwing. Who? Still, I am livid at this. I hate this. Just it just does not make sense at any moment. Yeah, again, Sunny, Sand Knight. Her Nightwing heritage is from her father. She looks practically just like a Sandwing, but is missing this tail bob. Her scales are brighter, and her eyes are the black onyx eyes, but instead green. Whiteout and Darkstalker, I have already mentioned. I've already brought them up. Whiteout looks like a nice. is the one who looks most like a father. Father is pretty much the one who looks most like a father on this list, but he still has to, if I'm correct, he still practically has the Nightwing body type. Darkstalker's Icewing heritage that's on his body is noted to be easy to hide. Mulberry. Pretty much only his wings, a couple of his scale cutters, and then his paw, and then his. I'm getting so angry I forgot words. Oh dear, doggone. But still, it just does not make sense. I'm going to scream into the abyss for a bit, Zia.